5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
We begin tonight with breaking news in South St. Louis, where a man is dead following a shooting at River des Peres and Wanda. Here's a live picture of that scene. You can see police cruisers and vans there. Here's what we know. A man was found shot in the back there around 4:30 this afternoon. Police say they have a suspect in custody. Right now, River des Peres Boulevard is closed around that area. There's a huge police presence, you can see. We do have a crew on the scene. We'll update this story on air on KSTK.com and on the 5 on Your Side app as soon as we get more details.
An Illinois community is mourning the death of a young woman shot and killed over the weekend. Tonight, her boyfriend is behind bars facing first-degree murder charges. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. Alexis Mackey was killed Saturday in Clinton County. 5 on Your Side's Diamond Palmer talked to those close to Alexis, who says she was a light to everyone around her.
That's right, Ann and Mike. Alexis's best friend and former teacher say she was known for her sense of humor, compassion to others, and love for traveling. And she was a college student who was set to graduate this May.
Joseph Link says Alexis Mackey was his best friend and a part of his family. Alexis was a student at Kaskaskia College and a bartender at Grit and Tonic. Saturday, November 4th, he received a phone call from Alexis's mom that changed all of that.
It was hard. Never lost a friend. So close.
Link says Alexis texted him the morning of her death and told him she was having a rough day. He says Alexis had broken up with her boyfriend Emmett Metzger on Halloween weekend. Link says Alexis was then lured back to her apartment on Hanover Street in New Baden so Metzger could, quote, say goodbye to their animals they shared together.
Next year, we actually had plans to go on a cruise together in Alaska. And so she won't be able to go to that, so it's going to be hard.
Among those also grieving is Alexis's former West Glen High School teacher, Ted Crail.
It's just unreal. It still doesn't seem real, and it's so unfair that such a beautiful spirit could be taken from us in this way.
Crail led a group called Lifesavers, a peer support suicide and crisis prevention program designed to help teenagers cope with challenges. Alexis was in the group her freshman year and became a group leader her senior year.
And if more people can become aware of this Lifesavers program so that more students can help their peers through tough times, that would be a way that we could offer a tribute or a legacy to her.
Both Crail and Link say their emotions are filled with sadness and anger.
Life in prison, I mean, that's what he deserves. He deserves to not be seen by anyone or see anyone ever again. I wish we didn't even have to talk about him.
Emmett Metzger is charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. In Illinois, one suspect can be charged with multiple counts of murder for the same crime. He is being represented by a public defender. I've reached out for comment and have not received a response yet. Meanwhile, funeral services for Alexis Mackey are on Saturday in Mascoutah.
Diamond, thanks. Now to a developing story in South St. Louis. Homicide detectives are investigating after police found a man burned to death early this morning. It happened in the Benton Park West neighborhood. 5 on Your Side's Mercedes McKay spoke to one business owner in the area who was shocked to hear that this gruesome crime happened just steps away from her shop.
Flashing lights and crime scene tape revealed an unsettling discovery in one South St. Louis neighborhood early Tuesday morning.
3rd District police officers received a call for a fire and possibly a body in the west alley of the 3200 block of Oregon.
After police put out several small fires at the scene, they found a man's body badly burned.
We have called out our partners at the fire department. They're in fire investigation unit. Also our bomb and arson unit and the homicide units responding.
That's because police believe what they found wasn't accidental.
We do believe that this is an intentional act and that this person was murdered.
The crime happened less than a block away from Edmund's Chili Company. The owner tells me that she was shocked to hear about it because this business has been here since the 1950s and this is the best she's ever seen this neighborhood.
There's a lot of renovation and rehabs going on here and people are starting to move in.
That's something Michelle Edelman, owner of Edmund's Chili Company, says she hasn't seen in quite some time.
20 years ago, things were not so good, and people were abandoning these areas.
But in the last few years, Edelman says that's all changed.
We know a lot of these neighbors here. There's some kids across the street that my kids play with.
As far as flashing lights and crime scene tape, she says it's rare to see in this part of the Benton Park West neighborhood, and if it happens, it's usually isolated.
I think most of that is between people who know each other, not so much as being attacked.
While it's hard for Edelman to even think about what happened just steps away from her business's doorstep, she has faith in her street.
There's so many people here that are coming back, so that gives us a lot of hope.
In South St. Louis, Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
And this is still an ongoing investigation. Police are asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 866-371-TIPS.
This week, workers will begin to clear huge pieces of debris from sewers in University City. They've been a point of frustration for many residents ever since the massive floods in July of last year. The Metropolitan Sewer District is calling this the most extensive sewer inspection in 2 decades. 5 on your side's Annie Krall is live in University City after speaking to them about this cleanup project. Annie?
Well, there are about 6 miles of concrete tubes here. The St. Louis Metropolitan Sewer District has hired a contractor to inspect and clear up any blockages they may find, including major sections along the River de Pere that sewer officials say are in an area with an extremely high risk of flooding again in the future.
This sound of water rushing through the concrete tubes of University City was very different during the historic flooding back in July of 2022. A record rainfall meant dozens of homes were condemned in the community. People who live there blaming blocked sewers as part of the problem.
I don't think you can point to any specific action as contributing to all the flooding in July last year. 7 inches of rain or 8 inches of rain within an hour. There's not a lot that can be done engineering-wise that could help any of that.
The St. Louis Metropolitan Sewer District is beginning an inspection this week to check the nearly 100 connection points within these tubes. They conduct regular inspections, but haven't completed one to this extent since the early 2000s. Workers have been told to clear any blockages they may see, like jammed branches or other debris.
It breaks my heart when I talk to people who experience extreme flooding like we saw here. But unfortunately, that is something that you have to expect when you live in a floodplain. Trust me, if we thought that this debris was in any way creating a meaningful impact on that flooding, we would have been out here immediately cleaning it.
Estimated to cost upward of $2.2 million, the project is contracted with Ace Pipe Cleaning. It should take about 2 months to clear the debris and a full year for the entire inspection to wrap up.
But the only sustainable solution is to help these people relocate. You cannot engineer your way around a floodplain. You can't clean your way around a floodplain. This area is highly susceptible to flooding, and the best solution is to return it to what nature intended.
When I spoke with the director of Public Works for University City, he said that the buyouts for 12 of the homes most impacted by last year's flooding are still underway. They're being handled by the community development. In fact, they're still yet to be approved, but are moving forward in the FEMA process. Reporting live in University City, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
Polls are closing for the Missouri municipal elections in about an hour. So far, turnout is about 12% in St. Louis County for eligible voters. A proposition to annex a portion of St. Louis County to Manchester is on the ballot there. The Rockwood School District is asking voters to decide if tax dollars should be reallocated to upgrade technology and security. And St. Charles, St. John, and Arnold are voting on whether to add a 3% tax on recreational cannabis. Stay with 5 on your side tonight for results after the polls close.
Coming